Today we're going to break down how just a few seconds on a Korean variety show featuring K-pop star San from ATEEZ absolutely ignited a massive global debate about consent, power, and, well, harassment in the entertainment world. Okay, let's just dive right in. This quote, wow. It's from a fan on social media, and it's raw, it's angry, and it gets right to the heart of the issue. It really captures that immediate, intense outrage we're going to unpack. So first things first, we've got to look at the moment that kicked this all off. What exactly happened on the show Dulcing Four Men that caused such a huge worldwide reaction?
All right, so picture this. San's a guest. They're all chatting about exercise, pretty standard stuff. But then, as they're talking, one of the hosts just reaches out and touches San on his chest. And the key detail here, the thing that everyone watching immediately picked up on, is that it was totally unsolicited. It just happened suddenly, with no warning and no permission.
Now, this is what makes it so interesting. For the fans watching, this wasn't just a simple touch. No, they saw his reaction. They pointed out that San, who was right in the middle of a sentence, just stopped talking. He went completely silent the second the host's hand was on him, and they took that as a super clear sign of his discomfort.
And from that one moment, boom, the internet just exploded. Let's get into how this thing went viral, because it wasn't a slow burn. It was immediate, it was furious, and it was global.
And this slide really gets to the core of it, right? The massive gap between the action itself and how it was seen. For so many fans, this wasn't just some awkward or innocent touch. They immediately started using much stronger words, calling it groping and even sexual assault. They were arguing that, hey, any unwanted touch like that actually fits the definition. I mean, look at this quote. It's a perfect snapshot of that raw, unfiltered shock that was just flooding social media. The tone isn't just angry, it's confused. People were genuinely questioning how this could even happen on a TV show. It just didn't make sense to them.
And this is where the conversation got a whole lot bigger than just San and this one host. It became this powerful statement about bodily autonomy. Fans were passionately arguing that just because someone is famous, it doesn't give anyone, not a host, not a fan, anyone the right to touch them without permission. Their bodies are not public property, period.
So you have to ask, right? Why? Why did this one little clip hit such a raw nerve with so many people all over the world? Well, it's because it tapped into a much bigger conversation about culture and power inside the Korean entertainment industry. Which brings up a pretty big question, doesn't it? If he was uncomfortable, why didn't he just say something? Well, fans had an answer for that right away, and it's all tied up in a really crucial part of Korean professional culture that you have to understand to get the full picture here. It all comes down to this really important concept, sunbae and hubae. See, the host is a sunbae. He's a senior in the industry, he's got way more experience. San is the hubae, the junior. And in that kind of relationship, the hubae is expected to show an incredible amount of respect. To challenge a sunbae, or even show you're uncomfortable, that could be seen as a huge sign of disrespect, and could seriously damage your career.
So, with that kind of power dynamic in play, fans immediately said, hey, this isn't just a one-off thing. They saw this moment as a symptom of these huge ongoing problems. They started pointing out how variety shows often treat harassment like it's a joke, how they objectify guests, men and women, and just keep pushing this idea that an idol's body is there for entertainment. This incident was just the latest example.
And this right here, this is the shift from just being angry to demanding action. The call wasn't just for an apology in this one case, it became a challenge to the entire industry, saying, let's talk about this. Let's talk about why you think sexual harassment is funny, and demanding a real conversation about where the line is.
So when you boil it all down, what do we have? We have a 2-second moment on TV that became this global flashpoint. It pulled the curtain back on some really deep cultural tensions about power and respect. And it proved that today's fans, they're not just watching passively. They are a powerful voice, and they're demanding accountability and a much higher standard.
So it leaves us with this question. In this world of entertainment, whose job is it, really, to draw that line between a joke and harassment? Is it on the hosts, the producers, the TV network? Or is it on us, the audience, to call it out whenever we see it? It's a tricky one, and definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.